Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a detailed look at the latest on the cold front which is sweeping southwards through the country at the moment, bringing in some bitterly cold Arctic air, turning precipitation to snow over higher ground at the moment, and it could be lowering that snow level over the next few hours and the next sort of 24 hours, where we could see many areas, even to low-lying areas, even in the south, could be seeing some falling snow. Now, of course, it's end of March, early April, so we're not expecting anything too major from this, but it's a real shock to the system after 20 degrees for a few days last week, with widely temperatures not getting much above 6 or 7 degrees over the next 3 or 4 days, with bitterly cold nights, minus sort of 3 or 4 degrees quite widely in many central areas. So yeah, real cold conditions coming up, and it is spreading southwards at the moment, with all areas in that cold air mass by tonight into tomorrow morning. So remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So you start on the live radar before we have a look at some of the warnings, some of the models, and then we'll also have a look at some of the medium range forecasts as well, seeing how long this cold spell lasts and what's coming next. So if we do start on the live radar, you can see we do have this weather front spreading southwards at the moment. It's very, very messy, this weather front. We've got some precipitation ahead of it, and then we've got the main band of precipitation sinking southwards. It's quite patchy on and off, with some heavier pulses within it, and you can see where these blues is the higher ground across northern England. We're seeing snow fall quite widely over higher ground, and it's falling even perhaps to lower lying areas as well. It's on the northern edge of this weather front, with that real cold air digging in behind it. Now, of course, I'm recording this around 3-4 p.m, so we are sort of at the peak temperatures of the day. So that snow level's only going to fall over the course of the next few hours into the evening. And once the sun does set, widely temperatures will be low single digits, if not getting towards freezing. Now, behind the weather front, we do have a brief slot of clearer skies and less precipitation, but then behind it we can see the real cold Arctic unstable air mass moving in, widely, as I said, falling wintry. So low-lying areas, still perhaps a bit of rain within it and towards the coast, but for many areas this is now turning more wintry. And of course the precipitation charts from this radar doesn't always do it justice. Sometimes these greens are showing on the map and it's actually falling as wintry precipitation. So it's very difficult to say, but most of this now will be falling wintry of some nature, whether it's sleet, growlpool, hail or snow, and I'm expecting over the next few hours probably be start seeing images of snowfall over Scottish mountains, over the villages and the towns within Scotland, and this air mass will be just heading southwards. By this evening, widespread wintry showers along the east coast, and this weather front could be turning more widely to snow through the Midlands into central southern England, perhaps even into the southeast. Could see some falling snow. As I said at the start of the video, not expecting any significant accumulations, but widespread falling snow really is a possibility over the course of this evening and through tomorrow. So we do have a look at the warnings from the UK Met Office now. You can see we do have one yellow warning in force from 8 p.m. tonight until 10 a.m. tomorrow for ice along many parts of eastern Scotland, northern England and northeast England as well. Snow and hail showers could lead to icy surfaces with possible travel disruption, 1 to 2 centimetres, mainly above 100 metres, and perhaps 5 centimetres over Scotland, Northumberland and the North Yorkshire moors, around 2 to 300 metres of elevation. So accumulations could happen even to moderate hills, so nothing too crazy. And some may argue, why is there only a sort of small warning in force with all the widespread showers that are around? And it's because it's all about likelihood. If you have a look at the impact matrix, you can see low impact, very likely, and there's so much uncertainty with the positioning of these showers elsewhere. It's very difficult to say where else we'll see snow and ice. But there will be other wintry hazards. So even if you aren't in this warning, doesn't mean you've completely escaped any hazards. There will be some wintry hazards around, even areas further southwards and further westwards, just not as likely as in these positions. So please do stay careful. Please do take care out there, as there still could be some issues out there as well, even if you aren't in this warning. So we do have a look now at the UK Met Office run. We'll have a look first at precipitation and cloud amounts, and then we'll have a look at temperatures. So you can see this precipitation band heading southwards at the moment, wintry over the hills, and as it spreads southwards, perhaps turning more widely wintry on its back edge. You can see even down into the London area and the far south and southeast, you see patchy snow and rain. And again, wherever you've got the highest intensity with evaporative cooling, that's where we can see those temperatures dip. A bit more, meaning that snow level drops as well. Behind that, though, you can see very heavy wintry showers along the northeast, even down into parts of the Midlands, parts of Wales as well. Could be seeing some snow. And I'm expecting by early hours of Thursday, most precipitation falling out of the sky will be falling as snow. You can see all the way along Scotland, down across southern Scotland, northeast England, into northern England, the Midlands. Everything really is snow. And the far southeast, some rain could still mix in, but a lot of it is looking like snow. Through tomorrow morning, those showers become widespread once again, even to inland areas. Convective showers popping up, and they could be heavy, could be whiteout conditions for some heavy, thick, wet snow. And then beyond that, they mainly are affecting northern areas through Thursday afternoon, before slowly sort of petering away towards coastal areas before Friday, perhaps coming inland briefly once again, before we see more settled conditions as high pressure does topple, before we start to see more of a westerly flow by early Monday. So you can see a lot of wintry hazards perhaps around in the form of showers over the next 2 or 3 days before things start to settle down, but of course the temperatures will be very cold towards the weekend with clearer skies and less showers around. We'll see those temperatures really plummet overnight. And if we do also have a look at those 850 HPA temperatures, you can see the colder air mass spreading southwards at the moment. And as I'm recording this, as of around 3-4 p.m, you can see it's across northern England, and it's spreading all the way through the country, -9, -10 degrees at 850 HPA, spreading through, and we remain in this bitterly cold air mass all the way through the weekend until around Monday we start to pull in some briefly milder air, before we perhaps could see the return of some much colder air from the northeast. So we do finally finish up, have a look at the max temperatures. Now you can see over the course of this afternoon, so 10, 11, 12 degrees in the south, but freezing and only low single digits further northwards. But by early hours of this evening, widely, tomorrow morning, early hours of tomorrow morning, widely 1 or 2 degrees, if not below that, further northwards. Tomorrow afternoon is going to be a cold day, widely 4 to 7 degrees, really quite chilly, perhaps 8 or 9 degrees in the Republic of Ireland, a little bit milder there on the more peripheries of the colder air mass and less showers, and further northwards across England and Scotland could be freezing across some hilly regions. Beyond that, Thursday night it's going to drop very low. We can see widely temperatures towards freezing, but across more eastern areas with more cloud around, it could hover around 1 or 2 degrees. Still very cold, of course. But coldest temperatures will actually be further westwards across parts of the Republic of Ireland, Scotland, Wales and southwest England, with temperatures down to -2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 degrees. Through Friday, another chilly day, maybe a degree or two up, between 5 and 8 degrees. And about early hours of Saturday, you once again see cloud building in the west. Temperatures will be the coldest in the east. -3, -4, -5 degrees, and far southeast -2 or 3 or 4 degrees as well. Saturday afternoon, chilly day once again, still 5 to sort of 7, 8 degrees, and similar across Sunday night, widely below freezing, down to -3 to -5 degrees, quite widely. In the countryside, really cold indeed, and by Sunday afternoon, still quite chilly, but perhaps warming up a little bit, 8 to 9, 10 degrees, and by early hours of Monday, still chilly overnight, but that widespread frost being cut out a little bit with more in the way of westerly winds, bringing a little bit milder air in. So do finish the video by briefly having a look at the GFS and its ensembles, and ECMWF Ensembles as well. Just have a look at the mid-range over the next sort of week or two. You can see the northeasterly winds moving at the moment. High pressure though eventually starting to topple, cutting off those showers by sort of Saturday, Sunday within the colder air mass before we see more of a north to westerly flow, bringing a brief ridge of milder air in. Before we do go briefly a little bit northerly with some colder air masses coming back in, before eventually we turn more westerly with generally a westerly theme. Unsettled, a little bit milder, but it still will feel chilly. Right towards the end of the run though, we are seeing perhaps signal again for more high pressure blocking, but being middle of April, it's unlikely to produce anything too majorly cold, but you can see bitterly cold air still is near and close to our northeast, or at least very cold air for this time of year, and we'd see those temperatures plummet once again with widespread frost, and it could this time of year really damage some crops and plants out there. So yeah, doesn't look great if you're a gardener. Really doesn't look great out there, perhaps, if this did come off. But if we do run through the air masses, see bitterly cold air moving through for the next couple of days, remaining around as the high pressure topples brings milder air in for Monday, before we do see a brief return to some colder air for a time, especially across the far north, before we do go more westerly with oscillating colder and warmer air masses, but nothing too crazy. And then right towards the end of the run, as I said, more of a north or easterly flow, bringing things back in off Scandinavia. So if you finished the video finally by having a look at the ensembles over the next couple of weeks, you can see around average at the moment, dropping well below average down to sort of -7 to 10 degrees at 850 HPA over the next 3 or 4 days, all the way to around the 4th or 5th of April, before rising to around average or above average for the foreseeable future. So these are first the ECMWF ensembles, then we'll have a look at the GFS. So you see, mild in the longer term, but bitterly cold at the moment, and you can see precipitation signal is increased quite significantly. So even in the longer term, with milder air coming back in, it's still going to be very, very unsettled, pretty unpleasant out there. And if we do have a look at the GFS ensembles, just to finish up the video, you can see very similar. Cold over the next 5 days, returning to around or above average for the foreseeable future. Beyond that, with high precipitation spikes. And you can have a look at the new snow depths. You can still see significant snow on some of the ensembles over the next 24 hours. Again, very difficult to say if it will come off. Does look like falling snow is quite likely, but whether it's settling snow is very much marginal at this stage. And you can see once again another reflection of the air masses, the dew points getting widely down to sort of -5, really cold Arctic air. And finally, we'll just have a look at the 2 meter temperatures, and you can see widely mid single digits, around 5 to 7 degrees widely over the next 5 days, returning back to around low teens by early next week, and staying around that. So yeah, very, very big shock to the system compared to the really warm temperatures we had last week. But it does look like it's only going to last maybe 3 to 5 days, with overnight frosts, widespread wintry showers, and cold, bitterly cold days. So please do stay safe out there. Even though it isn't sort of January time, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing widespread, heavy, dangerous snowfall. There still could be a lot of wintry hazards out there. It still is going to feel really cold, and we will feel a real shock compared to last week. So please do take care out there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.